Cool. All right. I hope everyone is having a really good week. I think we're getting into like midterm season pretty soon. Maybe I think it might be next week. School has been kind of busy for me. A lot of homeworks, a lot of assignments, but it's looking really good. So as usual, what we have prepared for today is we're going to talk about the SER lab rules again. Shout outs, updates and announcements, sub-team updates, and finally questions. So we still have the rules of getting tested every 14 days and the 6-person lab limit. And everything else you see here. However, we are meeting next Monday with Goose, and we're gonna be talking about whether or not we'll be changing some of them. But just in general, masks are probably still gonna be required at the lab at all time. And then we'll see. We'll make the announcements next Tuesday. We'll probably send out a message on the general chat if we do change anything. So shout outs for this week. We want to give a shout out to Arturo and Nomar for working on the FVA analysis of the boat tail. It was a really great piece of document. You see a picture there. I know analysis, it's on the analysis chat, and it's also in the analysis folder on the Google Drive. You can access it there. If not, I can ask, if you have any questions about it, you can ask Ravi or Omar to send it to you. It's great. Also, shout out to Isabel for working very hard with payload and being on top of everything. And Raj and Joe for getting things done for avionics. Good stuff, y'all. Now, announcements and deadlines. This one's cool. So as you all know, we still need some money for competition for SCR. And Emily Humble, if you know who she is, she was a project manager last year for the team. She organized a concert called Coachella. It's going to be local bands. One of our members, Alan and Alex, are part of a band called Sad Allen. They're going to be playing there. Also another local Houston band called Cold Water, and we're still looking for that third band. And I think there's rumors out there that Joaquin, one of our members, might want to play too at the concert. So it's going to be a fundraiser. We're trying to get some tacos or some food and maybe even coffee to be sold at the concert. It's going to be on that like pavilion next to CV1, and it's going to be gated. We're going to be selling tickets. We still don't have like the prices for the tickets or anything. What we do know is it's going to be on February 24th at 4 p.m. So let everyone you know that goes to UH to attend. I'm going to be emailing some orgs to see if they can post it on their website, on their group meets and stuff like that. That way we can get a lot of people attending and we can raise a lot of money. It's going to be fun. And then we also have the SCR Bake Sale February 17th at the Student Center from 11 to 6 p.m. We're going to be having cookies there. We're going to have a lot of cookies. All the profit we make is going to be going to the team and competition. So please, I think that's the same day. Actually, I'm pretty sure it's the same day as the Engineering Career Fair. So if you go to that, just stop by the Student Center. We'll be there and just support the org. Also, for Spaceport, our second progress report, the deadline has been moved. It was originally supposed to be done this Friday on the 11th. However, they have moved the deadline to February 18th. And there's two different forms that we have to do now. It's not just to send the same progress report. We got to do like a general progress report and then also a progress report for our specific category, which is 30,000 feet commercial off the shelves. And then everyone else is going to have like their sub-team reports due on the 14th. So that will be next Monday on Valentine's Day. Work on that with your sub-team leads. That's more of like an actual like written report rather than like Spaceport where it's like they ask a question and you answer the question. And I will be live streaming completing the report again. I did that, I think, was it Sunday night. I'm gonna be doing it again this week with some of the questions for Spaceport. So if you're interested in being project manager, chief engineer, or any sub-team lead position next semester, you should probably attend to that. You can learn a lot about rocketry. You can learn a lot about what I do and some of the work I do behind the scenes. Yeah, now let's move on to the sub-team updates. First up this week is structures.
So pretty much what we've been up to as far as documentation goes is the justification document, looking at some of the Zenith questions that we have over from Oberon, and then working on the bill of materials a little bit. And then of course, now we need to start working on the report. For the physical tasks that we're in progress of is the boat tail negative, working on the centering ring CAD and the MM CAD. And then as far as our research goes, we're looking into carbon fiber options, different fasteners and how many we're going to need for the different components, and the fin options with analysis.
Thank you, Haley. Okay, next up is analysis.
Hello, everyone. Hope your week is going well. For analysis in the past week, we've continued our research with the fins. We're no longer going to go with the Concorde style. We found that it was too hard to model for fin flutter and divergence velocity. So we have a new plan with a new kind of trapezoidal fin. We're going to look at 3 different configurations of Zenith and come up with 2 or 3 fin designs for each. And then from there, hopefully we can decide what the best set of fins for Zenith are. The final fin recommendation should be coming tomorrow at the end of our lab time. So excited for that, to finally complete that after a few grueling weeks. And then the boat tail FEA, as we said, huge shout out to Arturo and Omar for the work they've done. We did move to SolidWorks, and they completed at least the primary analysis and hand calculations. But I think we'll continue to look into that as we come up with more things to analyze and really just cover our bases with. In the upcoming week, we'll be updating documentation as well as mainly just working on the February progress report.
Thank you, Robbie. All right, next up, avionics.
Hi, everyone. So for avionics this week, we have our CO2 system procedure document completed. So that's all sent up and completed and sent to recovery as well. As for the work we're doing this week, we're going to continue to work on the CAD design of the tray. I'm going to finish it off as well in the lab. If any of you have schematic experience, please reach out to me. We also have set our pressure testing date on February 23rd, which will be on a Wednesday. We will set up our avionics system and basically run it through as if it was in a launch with just the tray itself. We also just got approved to start ordering all the parts. So hopefully that should start coming in the next few weeks or so. And another thing I really wanted to stress is please get your COVID test results. And only 2 members right now, excluding me and Joe, are currently allowed to enter the lab. So if you see that QR link there, please scan that and send us your COVID test results as soon as possible. Otherwise, you won't be able to enter lab this weekend. We really need more than 2 people to show up, especially if we're going to get the tray done. So yeah, that's it for avionics.
Thank you, Raj. All right, payload.
Hey y'all, this week we're back to our regular scheduled lab time. That being said, please send in your COVID results also. Everything from our purchase orders have been purchased. The only thing left to order are smaller stabilizing materials. With that, we'll finalize our assembly design. Because of this, we're applying our knowledge to hands-on work. So it's going to be a lot of reiteration practice to ensure that we have clear, effective results so that we can reject or fail to reject our null hypothesis. We'll also be working on our internal frame CAD and our February progress report.
Good stuff, good stuff. Propulsion.
What's up, y'all? So we finally decided on our lab and Zoom meeting times, which you can see from the picture on the right. We try to get everyone included in there, but some people might not be able to make it to each of the lab times. But luckily, we're planning on having workshops for the tasks that we're going to be having, and they're going to be on different days. So we'll make sure everyone gets accommodated. We're going to be having lab this Friday, and it's basically just going to be us introducing propulsion concepts and what we're going to be doing for the rest of the semester. And next week's lab, I'm going to work on 3D modeling because we're going to be working on motor casings for sugar rockets. And we're trying to get everyone involved in that. So yeah, going to be a lot of fun. So thank you.
Good stuff, y'all. All right, recovery.
Okay, so for recovery this past week, one of the most important things we did was I was in a phone call with Randy and Gustavo, and we just talked about the pyrotechnic charges that originally we had planned to be using smokeless powder, but after talking to Randy, he suggested using black powder. The good news is that it should be pretty easy to replicate. We don't necessarily have to buy them from the website. And I added the materials for that to the bill of materials. Like Raj said, we have the ground test procedures. We have the instructions from avionics. So I'll be looking over that and finalizing it. And yesterday during the lab, we just pretty much looked at all the components that we have so far. And you can see there on the pictures how it would kind of look once we like put them together. And we also took some other measurements of some parts that were not compatible, and we'll be working on the new purchase orders to get those new hardware in the lab so we can put all the things together. But it kind of takes us to what we're going to be doing this week as well as next is pretty much just validating all of our components and working on writing documentation and procedures so we can validate all of these different components, because there is a lot of different components. We have to make sure that they all work together and that it works like we want them to. Thank you.
All right. Well, before we get to the questions, let me see if I have it open. Yeah, so actually, I'll say that for later. We can just move on to questions. Does anyone have any questions? Any questions? Somebody's typing right now. Somebody said Carlos. Never mind. I was just gonna say also, as for the propulsion members that are here, so this year we're doing 30K COTS, right? But the ultimate goal for like the future, I don't know exactly like what year we'll be like done with it, is moving on into student research and design stuff for the team. So for those who are in propulsion, I recommend y'all like staying and like working hard this semester. I don't want to say we're gonna have a lot more funding next year yet, but if we do, that's when, you know, the members who are gonna stick around are gonna be able to do some like really special stuff with the hybrid engine. There's gonna be a lot of development in that area. It's gonna be really good. I was propulsion lead last year, and some of the stuff we wanted to do at that time was already like really cool with the SRAD solid propellants. And now that we got the capstone team to work with us, and we have Ozzy and Adrian working on stuff, it's gonna be some really cool stuff. And again, if you're in the meeting right now, or if you're watching later on, the stuff we're gonna be doing in the future is gonna be great. So just stick around. We have a few months left to complete Zenith. Once with the airframes come in and we start test fitting stuff, it's gonna be awesome. I know they're gonna be coming in very soon. But any other questions? Anything y'all want to bring up? Nope. Okay, well, I'm going to stop sharing my screen and stop recording.